Hey knife people, it's Pocket Knife Collector. I'm here with another unboxing video for you today. I have a package here from Dandridge, Tennessee, which is going to be Smoky Mountain Knife Works. And I don't remember what I ordered from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I went a little bit crazy in late May and early June. There was a bunch of sales on things. So let's open it up and find out. I'm going to open it with the Spyderco Endura 4. This is the sheep's foot version of the Endura in a K390 blade. I think this has been discontinued, which is unfortunate because K390 is a pretty awesome steel for blade retention, and the sheep's foot profile, or Warncliffe, I guess they probably call this a Warncliffe, is great for opening packages. So let's bust into this one. Not exactly sure how this box opens. It's pretty much entombed in cardboard here. I mean, in packing tape. Okay. We wanted to have your free item that came with your order, but demand was high. We wanted to make sure you got something to replace it, so we subbed a similar item in its place. Thank you for your understanding. Okay, well, yeah, I guess they were doing a freebie with orders probably over a certain dollar amount or something. I don't remember what the freebie was, so this is all, very very exciting. Let's see what see what we got. Oh yeah, okay. So there's a Benchmade, and that, I guess this is a freebie. This is a Rough Rider. Rough Rider Reserve, which is the, I think, higher quality products from Rough Rider. Doesn't say anything there. All right. Well, the Benchmade is the Bailout, the 537 GY. And this was on sale. I think that sale might still be going on as of the day I'm filming this, but it's ending soon, or maybe it just ended. These are normally around 200, and they were marked down to like 160. Okay. So we got the Bailout, Tonto point, high flat grind, swedge, coated blade in CPM 3V, which is good stuff. It is not stainless, so the coating is serving a functional purpose in this case. I will, in a minute, I will pause the video and I will go get another Bailout to talk about how this one is a little different than sort of the original version of the Bailout from Benchmade. There's a bunch of new Bailout models on the way. And for the first time, they're offering them in stainless steel. I think there's an S30V version out now, or about to be out. And there's a Magna Cut version as well, which is coated, even though it really doesn't need to be coated for rust protection. It could be coated to reduce glare or just for aesthetics. And this is the sort of hybrid material that Benchmade has been using on some of their knives now. It's basically an injection molded stuff, but it's got a little more rigidity and strength than typical FRN. So yeah, we'll talk some more about this in a minute. Let's see what this free item is here. Oh, okay. Another Tonto liner lock. Nice pocket clip on this. It's instead of just a folded pocket clip, it's put on standoffs with a sort of a ball. D2 steel on this, so not stainless, but semi-stainless, stain resistant a little bit. The 3V will rust easier than D2 will. Is this on ball bearings? Maybe? Probably on washers, it feels like. I can't really see, I don't see any ball bearings in there. Yeah, okay, so we've got this sort of like, I don't know if they're calling that G-Mascus. It's a G10, red and black G10 blended into a pattern. All right, so a saber height grind, compound grind, right? And fairly stout. A little bit of jimping right there. A little bit of jimping back here. Yeah. I think Rough Rider I associate more with like traditional type pocket knives, more of the like slip joint and that kind of thing. But they do make some locking knives, and they're making some stuff that looks more modern. And I guess this is sort of tactically oriented, or I mean, it's fine for an EDC, right? Cool. All right. Yeah, so I'll be right back with an older bailout. All right, I'm back. I brought my well-used Benchmade Bailout. This is the original version of the Bailout, which had a CPM M4 blade, right, which is also coated, and also, it's a Tonto profile. It's the same blade profile, but different material. M4 is likewise pretty good with edge retention and toughness, but is not stainless. So it has basically the same strengths and weaknesses as 3V. And this had an aluminum handle. You can see the green, I don't know if paint is the right word for that, but the green coating on that is starting to wear off. And then at the back here, where they have this lanyard hole, the original ones had a glass breaker, and the current version does not. Right? Current version, there's no glass breaker back there, and I think maybe this material changed too. This seems to be nylon or something now, plastic, and I think that this one was metal. Yeah, so that little piece at the back, in addition to losing the glass breaker, is now made of a different material. Yeah, obviously, I've carried and used this thing, and I found it to be a decent everyday carry knife. And I'm not a huge fan of the Tonto. Spyderco rarely does Tonto's. I think that might be part of the reason that I like some mini Spydercos. Benchmade has some. Um, I don't own a lot of them because I'm not a big Tonto guy. But here's the Jared Oser designed Benchmade. I don't remember the name of this model, but it's a gentleman's knife, right? And it's in 20 CV. It's a smaller blade, and comes with a little leather pouch. There's no pocket clip on this thing. G10 handle scales, liner lock. So that's smaller than the Bailout, but the Bailout's not a huge knife. It looks menacing. If you're just looking at the profile of it, it looks, it's clearly tactically oriented. But here it is compared with a Rat 1. Okay, you can see the Rat is noticeably bigger. I mean, it's not a huge difference, but it's got a little more reach. And Rat 2, Bailout's in between those. Show it to you with a Paramilitary 2 from Spyderco and a pair of 3. Okay. It's about the same length as a PM2, but it's more slender, right? And it's lighter. So not a lot to carry around. Unless I find myself in the unlikely circumstance of needing a glass breaker, I think this is probably a good call to remove the glass breaker from the Bailout, because I did find that thing was jabbing me sometimes. I'd reach into my pocket for my wallet or something, past my knife, and I'd get poked by that glass breaker on the original model. And even just using the knife, sometimes you choke back on it and it would be in your hand and you get poked by it a little bit. I wear size XL gloves. I mean, you can get a full 4-finger grip on this handle without poking yourself with a glass breaker, but it is a thing that happens sometimes. Trust me, I've used this thing, and I know what I'm talking about. It is annoying, and I'm getting to be an older guy now. I'm definitely a middle-aged person, and I've never, I've had glass breakers on me a lot of the time, not every day of my life, but I have often been carrying some kind of glass breaking implement, and I've never used it. A long time ago, somebody was locked out of their car and asked me to break their window. And that was back in the days before I, carried a knife. And they were just trying to get in their car. And I don't know, we hit that window with a rock and it didn't break. And then I started to get a little uncomfortable about the idea. And I said, let's just call a locksmith, because surely it'll cost more to replace the window than to get a locksmith out here. Anyway, I think glass breakers are, if you're an EMT or first responder or something, and your job is to respond to people in car accidents, Okay, yeah, maybe you need a glass breaker. Um, I haven't really had opportunity to use one, even though I've had one a lot of the time. So here's a bug out and a mini bug out with that same handle material. Um, and you can see the bug out is really, it's almost the same size minus this lanyard business down here. I mean, the bug out has a lanyard hole. It's just, it's positioned there, whereas it's positioned on the end on the bailout. And that, you could call that a bail, which is probably why they named this knife the bailout, because it's got a bail sticking out. And also, you know, it's a double entendre. To bail out is to like escape, right? Or to like quit. So yeah, this is S30V, which is going to have less edge retention than the 3V, right? I know Benchmade allows you to customize knives on their website. So maybe you can get a bug out with 3V. I haven't checked to see if that's one of the configuration options. But this is a different coating, right? These are like DLC type coatings. The black coating on the bug out and the mini bug out, whereas this is, I think, a Cerakote on the bailout. And it does, you know, it's pretty tough, but it does wear. You can see the wear on that one that's had some use. You know, I've cut a bunch of cardboard boxes and things with this. Right? And the action on this, you know, if you're flinging it open or using the thumb studs, reverse flick, whatever, the action's real smooth on this. It's going to take a while for the new one to get there. It's not. Yeah, it's not quite there yet. A drop of blue lube or something might help. Yeah, you know, I'm not going to do a real long video on this because this knife model has been out for a long time, and I think people are generally familiar with it. I'll do a few more size comparisons, I guess. So here it is next to a Demco 20.5, which is also in 3V, right? So this is a competitor that you could consider. You get a 3V version. I think maybe that was exclusive to Knife Center or Blade HQ or somebody, but I don't know. I can't remember. These are not the original handle scales that were on this knife. I swapped them out. Yeah, the 20.5 is a shorter blade, but you know, it's going to give you similar cutting performance except for the tip. You know, for slicing and stuff, it's going to behave similarly. The overall knife is going to be a little thicker, you know, closed. And of course, it has a different locking mechanism. It has the sharp lock as opposed to the access lock on these Benchmades. Much longer clip, but the bailout is actually a more deep carry, right? More of this Demco knife is going to stick out of your pocket. On the Benchmade, the only thing sticking out of your pocket really is going to be the bail, this lanyard slot. But yeah, if you like 3V, those would be two to consider. And then let's see here. You know, I think a lot of people who like the look of the bailout, you know, just if they haven't handled one, and just looking at pictures of it online, it looks like a pretty aggressive, pretty tactical knife. I think some of the people who want this might be happier with something like the Adamas, right? Which has also got that same coating on it. It's a bigger, badder thumper of a knife, right? I mean, if that's what you're looking for, is a real hard use, tough knife with pretty substantial stock that you can treat like a multi-tool, you know, do a little bit of abusive stuff to it and not worry too much about it. This is Crewware, which again is going to be pretty tough and have decent edge retention, but is not stainless. That's a lot more substantial. Look at that. Okay. So, yeah. I think that's probably all I need to say about this one for now. If you like knives, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, because I got a lot of them, and I show videos of knives all the time. All right, thanks a bunch. Bye-bye.